Hello, this is Lydia Scott from lydiascott.com and rainbowgates.com. I want to talk to you today about spending time with your higher power, true power, great companion, God. In one of the other previous videos, I talked about things that happen in the world that are traumatic, usually by people that have terrible motives, unloving motives, and they inflict their will on other, usually innocent people, children, elderly, etc. It could be you. Most people have been traumatized or violated in one way or another. And it's a big cause of resentment and oftentimes a questioning of how did my God, my higher power, let this happen? How did this happen? Now sometimes, all the time, we have situations that happen that basically nothing happens without our consent, whether we remembered it or not. We have come here for lessons. We have come here to learn things. And oftentimes that is through traumatic events. And usually when we're in a vulnerable place. So, what a better way to learn about forgiveness and how to love than through having the situation where you've been violated and then need to reciprocate somehow through forgiveness and even learning to love again. And it's easy to love people that are being nice to you. The real challenge is how to become loving to your enemies, if that's how you view them. So, let's get back to how do we avoid these situations, or how do we start to kind of, we don't necessarily want to invite these situations into our lives because we want these lessons. However, it's amazing how many people put themselves in situations and you would look at it and go, it's not your fault how other people acted irresponsibly toward you, but it raises the risk. This is from a class I had in victimology. I have a criminology undergrad. And people will put themselves in dangerous situations, and then wonder how certain things happened. But they've raised the risk of being in traumatic and violent situations. So, but if we get back to a spiritual level with this, one way that you can find that you will increase the harmonious events in your life and flow in your life is by spending time with your higher guidance, true power, your God, however you want to look at that. By spending time in silence with your great companion, is the term I use right now. They can see farther across the timeline than you can. Probably because they're out of time and space. They're outside of that, so they're not limited. Their vision is not limited. Ours is limited in this 3D plane. So if you spend time communing with your higher guidance, then you will sharpen your intuition. Intuition is just an amazing genius that you have. That it's so amazing that people like to call it intuition. Is something mysterious and woo-woo. It's really not. It's really very practical. I was a cab driver to test mine, and it was one way that it wasn't a very smart way to do it maybe, and I wasn't really I got in touch with my higher power through that experience quite often. So, in communing with your higher power and doing the things that are put in front of you for your spiritual path, whatever your spiritual path is, that is put in front of you, which is unique to you, and you know what it is, and you know that you need to be doing it. If you are doing those things and receiving the daily guidance, you'll find that there's less chaos, there's less trauma, and certainly there's less traumatic events. You'll go around situations you'll not even know they were going to be happening. You'll be, some people call it divinely protected. Now, I can't say that there may not be something outside of that that may happen, but my own personal experience dictates that lots of traumatic events happened when I walked away from my spiritual path. And then, amazingly, and when I was shown this, and I first blamed my higher power for that. How could you let these things, how could you let that happen? It's so horrible. And I wasn't the only one affected. My children were affected. And so, when I was shown that my higher power could have been jumping up and down and screaming, but if I'm not engaging that higher power and say, I want your guidance today, I want you to show me where to go and what to do, and that we're gonna have a good life, and we'll work together. I leave myself and my family and all those I'm associated with. That's a vulnerability. And still others are, yes, they're responsible for their own behavior, but you don't want to put yourself in the path of it either. Anyway, if you want more information about communing with your higher power and trusting your higher power, your great companion, go to lydiascott.com or rainbowgates.com. Have a great day and have a great life.